Like, right now, they don't really have much late game, much objective taking Roshan potential. Like, Nature's Prophet carry, sure, it can scale if they want to go down that route, but I think it's like, it's very all in. And that's why I think these Void and PL bans suggest that, you know, at least T1 think they're going to pick some kind of late game hero.
Go all in on their, like, something they used to play a lot with Tino. Tino's Razor is probably his best hero, so very comfortable with. Jackie plays it.
I wouldn't even sign seeing like a carry Leshrac. We've seen that every now and then in the SCA region. Like playing in the TB, like right now they don't have good answers to the TB. Like the Mars Disruptor is okay, but I feel like having, and even the Snapfire magic damage, that you need that like Void Chronosphere to keep people in place or something. So I think some Leshrac AoE or some kind of, you know, something early mid game focus. The Razor also seems like a really good idea. Would cause T1 problems.
I really don't like the Leshrac terrible.
T1's turn to pick.
Wraith King.
Oh, that's just a Jackie hero. Whatever. We heard it 100 times.
You guys want to see something so different. Sometimes you forget that Wraith King's still in the pool.
That's true.
10 seconds
But with him being
remaining.
picked up, we see all of Boom's draft completed. And
5
Chip, do you really
seconds
like it? Do
remaining.
you think it is well-rounded and something that's going to fit quite well to their playstyle?
Yeah, like I like Boom's lineup. I think I found it funny yesterday watching their drafts, and Jackie got his Medusa on 24 pick both games, and I was like, I feel like I've only seen this guy play Wraith rather DP for the most. Like he's played other stuff, but like those two were just his like bread and butter for so long, and somehow again like he just gets a last pick on his best heroes right now. So he's definitely probably feeling pretty comfy. I'm very, very excited to watch Snapfire again. They have lots of combination. They have catch. They have the ability to push. They have Roshan. They've covered so much in this draft.
Love to see it. T1 will soon be picking their last pick as well. And Gods, who is the biggest threat on the side of Boom for T1?
Legion
that maybe they
Commander.
should
You
try
may
and
now
focus
select
on?
your heroes.
That is going to be LC.
Ooh, I think Yopaj is the biggest threat. Honestly, I think they were more than happy to play into this Wraith King. They were more worried about the cores that cause problems for TB, like the Void with Chronosphere, the PL with the Mana Burn. If anything, TB is like counter to the Wraith King in some ways. Maybe not as good as the Medusa, who hits like this Skadi timing, but TB, when he gets like Metamorph plus Skadi himself, like that Wraith King is going to struggle to get on top of a TB, and even if you do, physical damage is not how you beat a TB. I think Yopaj is the guy to watch in this game. I think that's why the puck pick is so good, because it's a hero that's not going to get stomped in lane by a Snapfire. But I'm curious to see how like these support rotations work, because I think a lot of how this mid lane goes is going to come down to the supports
remaining.
Hey,
themselves.
that's a good little segue, because normally
5
I ask you
seconds
guys
remaining.
predictions on the games or the series, but instead I'm going to ask you guys, which lane should we be focusing on? Where do you think is going to be the most amount of action shape?
It's actually so hard. I feel like both FBZ and Cuckoo aggro that Mars leads their lanes. So they'll probably be trying really hard. It's just a question of can they. I think TV and Wraith King are both pretty sturdy against the get out. So yeah, this is a game of the mids and how much impact they can have. I'm definitely scared about Gabby getting.
And what about you, God? Same sort of thing. Definitely going to be a lot of eyes on that mid.
I think so. I think there's some potential for Cuckoo to maybe have a good time in his lane, and you know, if you manage to get like a nice kill or something on the Wraith King and force him into the jungle early, that could make the game look really good. But I would say it's unlikely. I agree with Cheap. I think these carries are both pretty sturdy, hard to bully. So I think the supports and the way they play around mid lane, the rune control, that's going to be a lot more impactful.
It's going to be an absolutely banger of a game. So we're going to head into this game number 1 between Boom and T1 as I jump out of here and leave it to God and Sheep.
Alrighty, thank you, Nat and Sheep. I'm excited with T1. This is a spicy matchup, and I think crazily enough, the two teams we see here in the winner bracket final, they're the two teams that brought in new players. So Ross's ability, forget it. Let's bring in new stars. That's the key to success.
Keep kicking players until it works, guys.
Yeah. That's the moral of the story, apparently. What do you make of first? I mean, coming in, you've seen the drafts now. We see the odds there. Boom actually, favored. Would you kind of agree at least a little bit that Boom are maybe the upper dogs in this one, or do you think it's maybe a bit more even?
I think this game. I'm pretty hyped. I also don't see like when we're asked like, oh yeah, what lane do you think we're gonna action? I look at these two lineups and I actually don't think that any lane really gets hard starts.
Do this.
It's one of those things where it feels like you could see the outplay. Like a Mars lane always has that kind of kill potential, but at the same time, it's TB. He shouldn't be going down, right?
I mean, hopefully. I think it's like one of the better heroes that you could have picked in this situation because Mars and Nature's Prophet, I think they're laning together. They both made like pretty much entirely do physical damage. God's Rebuke is physical. Nature's his whole thing is harassing with treants, right? Your TB has 30, like so much armor. It's like 10 plus armor. I think if there's one hero that's going to be able to like sustain through this damage, it's probably TB. He's very susceptible to magic nuke. They don't have that.
And even though it is Tim's on the Nature's Prophet, the 4 position, he is going to the safe lane. So they are going to be doing that 5 position disruptor in the off lane just because they want to really send all that magic damage at that TB. Whereas Nature's Prophet, as a support, pretty good against Mirana since you can block those arrows with treants potentially.
Yeah, this is a great lane swap. Makes entirely sense for them to do it. I think Nature's Prophet is so good at bully offlaners. Oh, shit. Yeah, you're not going to have that impact against TV, but here, it's just great. Especially because when you're playing a 4 position, just like Mirana, your whole, like, kind of purpose is that you really want to be able to just click the carry and make their life miserable, and Nature's is a hero that kind of fights back against that. It's like he's got a really good matchup against heroes like... They have, like, no real way to get the treants as well on those boards, so their life is just hard.
It's Nature's Prophet support, not something we see often, but it feels like it could be a good game for him. Looking at some of the other lane, Cheapo, you're gonna be pretty happy. You've been, asking and begging for the Yopaj Snapfire. You finally get it. What can we expect from a Yopaj Snapfire?
Yay! I'm not sure exactly how the matchup goes, because in my head, obviously, it seems hard to actually kill him because he's cookie. You don't really have the hard lockdown for it, and they don't have anything like an instant full stun like a Rubik or a Lion that like can rotate to mid and help him kill the puck. So they'll probably be kind of hoping more for, like Raptors level 6 before they start showing down.
So far, it's just been a lot of harass trade in the mid lane with Scatterblast being spammed out, Puck spamming his orb. And similar story in the side lanes. Like, you've got a Disruptor up against Shadow Demon. They've got, like, triple mango, those 5 mangoes on Disruptor. They're just spamming constantly to try bully each other out of the lane, but to no avail just yet. So, doesn't look like we're going to see any of these lanes be, like, convincingly won. As, Nat was asking, like, which lane to look at, it feels like there's not, like, an obvious lane that is going to be stomped.
Yeah. I'm mostly just watching mid for now because I think it's interesting how I guess you can fake pump the animations on Snapfire. So I actually think it's really hard, like watching it now and learning, I think it's really hard for Puck to actually be able to dodge things like Scatter Blast. Because if he just keeps like faking the animation, how are you going to know when he's actually going to do it? And the spell comes out so fast when you actually release that like, I think he's eaten like at least 4 or so of them already. And he just keeps going down.
I was even earlier on, I was thinking like he didn't even want to maybe dodge it because he was worried about a cookie as well hitting him. Or he baits it down the mid lane, but no, he gets the John away. There we go. As soon as Phase Shift goes on cooldown, he's like, I'm gonna go aggressive now. I'm gonna run it. Use Phase Shift, and top lane, this first blood is gonna be on the Disruptor. The Metamorph being committed with the Shadow Demon. Disruption to set it up and just well microed with the illusions.
Really eating a bunch of damage here. A bit of a scary lane. Whitemon is able to rack up a few stacks on you. It's like I actually had copy real. I had no idea how Shadow Demon until recently, but because I never played support, right? I was like, oh, it turns out you need like the 5 stacks, and then you do so much damage with the
Oh, we're
with the
seeing it
boys.
top now. He's got 4 stacks. It's
Dire's
not
top
quite
is
enough,
under
but it's going to
attack.
let the kill go to Gabby. So Gabby gets himself a kill on the top lane. This lane is working wonders for T1.
Yeah. So if you're like me and you're stupid and you don't know anything about the support role because you're a horrible core player, when Shadow Demon gets 5 stacks of his poison on you, I believe it doubles damage or something. So if you get 5 stacks on this off lane at all, they actually, when you have mana running, he's maxing it. He's got 2 points in the shadow.
Get 5 stacks, just assume you're dead. That's kind of, you know, I'm a dumb core player, and that's my assumption when I'm playing carry against Porkies and Shadow Demon. I'm just dead. Lane's over.
Yeah.
5 poisons on me, and if it's level 2 Shadow Poison, yeah, there's no getting out.
Ah, I'm stealing Carl's small camp. That's kind of sad.
Definitely winning the kind of economy battle so far in the mid lane. With this early Soul Ring, he's just got the consistent spam against Carl's Paku. Can't really sustain himself against this, so tough lane for him. He's going for the cookies kill. Carl is... Oh wow, Carl actually held onto the Jaunt. He still gets low. The burn damage over time, he survives on 50 health. Yopaj is looking for it. The Scatter Blast through is not going to be enough. Nicely played by Carl. The top lane, they go winning. Zephyr gets a kill onto Skem with the rotation, so T1 bring both supports to the top lane. Heads up play from Carl, man. I feel like Yopaj thought he was going to jaunt away and threw the cookies mid, and he just didn't jaunt.
This will make a great story for you, if you were going to.
Okay, so we're moving in towards 6 minutes now as well.
Gets chopped down by the Wraith King. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Actually doesn't
Oh
matter.
yeah, so power run's coming up in 15 seconds. I think both the supports, Zephyr, Whiteman, they got that kill top and then instant side moving towards mid. Skem also coming mid to refill Yopaj's bottle. They're all like posing, getting ready for a little skirmish.
Radiant's middle
top
tower
rune.
is under attack. Are scanning.
Well done by T1. They had control over both runes with the support migration to the mid lane, and Yopaj not having kissed his main. Didn't really want to go for a fight, but he still has a full level advantage on this puck, so almost level and a half advantage. He just hit level 7. This puck is level 5.5. Definitely a little bit concerning for Carl's game. And we'll get out of back to safety, but it does feel like we're seeing why Yopaj's Snapfire is so respected in the SEA region here.
Yeah, I think it's really, really good and important that T1 that they had the rune. I think Carl's game is kind of like you want to be going around and making moves on the map and pressuring, because Yopaj is content to farm. Like his timing as a Snapfire is always going to be when the kill is sure, but like you are most scared of a Snapfire when they get the like blink shard is 20 minutes. Yopaj, he likes to build the booster travel too, and then he starts to move around the map. He's just like happy farming. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna farm. I'm gonna get my travels, and then I'm gonna start moving. I'm gonna start doing things. Puck probably feeling maybe a little bit more pressure.
In trouble. Gets Sprout locked in. With the Yopaj rotation on the Snapfire, they've still got a Scatter Blast, so Cuckoo is going to get eaten alive by the shotgun.
That actually doesn't matter.
Nice rotation from Yopaj.
Yeah. Oh, and now Yopaj is doing a great job.
Yeah. They were looking for more. They've got the kisses too. The banish is used, but they're going on Gabby. Gabby's trying to run, but he needs a Sunder Target. He hasn't even leveled the Sunder yet. He jukes into the trees. One more kiss will hit him.
Radiant's
He's not
middle
going
tower
to go
is
down.
under
The magic 6 charges was just enough. Instead, they got the Shadow Demon and possibly the Mirana as well. So a great
Dire's
rotation from
bottom tower
Yopaj. Gets
is under
both
attack.
supports. Fortunately for T1, they keep Gabby alive on the Terrorblade.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta feel kind of bad about this one. I mean, Carl's the one getting the power rune, and Yopaj is still actually being more active than him. I guess
wants to
it's
make sure
nice
they get the
to do
next.
some more.
8-minute rune coming up. Yopaj cookies forward and follows himself an Invis rune. Nicely played, but now he's being called up. He's going to break it instantly. Have they got any detection for this one? Drops a sentry. And Carl can actually join himself forward. The glimpse going on to the support there as he finishes off Yopaj. Nicely done by T1 to get that kill.
Radiant are scanning.
Very dangerous to get stuff in there.
Dire's
That
top
would not
tower
be-
is under attack.
She can die, you know? And I think it's kind of expected for T1 to be
Radiant's middle tower is
every
under
power rune.
attack.
So maybe a little mistake
Dire's
there,
top
but
tower is under
it's
attack.
okay. They're pressuring top in the meanwhile on Drew. That's like the nice thing about having a Nature's Prophet is that you don't need a cart to pressure towers.
Dire's top
We'll
tower has
look to
fallen.
fight this one. T1, even though they lost their tower, they've got 4 heroes up here and they are looking to punish this. Disruption and arrow will land on the FBZ's Mord, so he's definitely dead.
Radiant's
And
courier has been
looks like
killed.
Tim's will get out okay on the Nature's Prophet. No Dream Coil to catch him, so a decent kill goes T1's way, but
Dire's middle tower
fairly important
is under
tower at the same
attack.
time, I guess, if you're Boom.
Yeah, the TB is just gonna want to farm as much of the match as he can. So when you take away towers from him, it means you have more space as a kind of invade and take space. Like most offlaners, they enjoy taking the enemy safe lane tower, farming through their jungle, connecting to mid and pressuring out that way, and that's kind of like a natural flow if you're winning really hard. They're able to take space from it.
Go on Cuckoo. They will get the kill. Kiss is being committed.
This
That is
death
so sad.
actually doesn't matter.
Dire's bottom tower
Jackie's just
is
being
under attack.
quietly free farming top of the net worth chart.
Structures are fortified.
With a Yopaj rotation, they find an easy kill there. We'll talk about the TB, and it feels like his game is going okay, but has been pushed back in the jungle, and unlike a Wraith King, he can't kind of aggressively
Dire's
farm lanes
bottom
because
tower
Wraith
is
King, you've
under
got
attack.
reincarnation, you've buy time for your teammates to rotate in. TB, you have to always be a little bit more cautious, I would say.
Yeah,
Dire's bottom tower has
not
fallen.
level your reincarnation. But they don't know. They don't know
Yeah.
he doesn't have it.
He's holding, you know, he's got a skill point.
Yeah.
Mid lane meanwhile, disruption, the silence, scam, level 4 disruptor, going for a D ward. He'll take the sentry with him.
I think the moves on Boom have just been really good. They, like killing when you kill Cuckoo bot, like they take that tower, they stop T1 from being able to pressure their own safe lane tower the way that they just did top. So right now they have their mid tower up, they have their bot tower up. Their map is just way more open and there's more places for them to farm safely than there is for T1 right now. I think the best case scenario moving forward here is if they can find a way to take that mid tower, but at this point if you're T1, you're like, okay, this is our only tier 1 tower still up, we have to defend this thing. Absolutely imperative.
One of the things they're doing really good is keeping an eye on all the farming going on. Nature's Prophet constantly sending treants into the enemy jungle just to block camps from spawning, to scout enemy heroes, to just really keep tabs of what's happening on the map. So definitely one of the strengths of this Nature's Prophet as a support. The T1, do you feel like need to make moves with this puck, or are they
Structures are
just
fortified.
happy to kind of sit back and enable the TB?
I'd like it if they made moves. I mean, they're making one now with a smoke, which is fantastic, because like you have so much kill threat with Shadow Demon and Mirana together. Like this is, you can kill anyone. We've seen it already. Every time they go together as a duo, they're just like finding pickoffs.
With a couple of heroes headed top, including the Yopaj Snapfire, who does have kisses back up, but both teams for now avoiding one another. Tim's does show mid, and that could be target for T1 to go on, but doesn't look like it's going to be particularly easy. And they've even rotated Gabby mid, so if they can find some kills or win a fight around here, they've got the metamorphosis to push and take a tower. Instead, they're going to find Jackie. He gets banished up, the arrow going to fall up. He has leveled up reincarnation now. The TP's coming to the outpost, so they are going to look to make sure they defend him. With the disrupted TP to a static spot, both of these T1 supports are in a world of hurt. Keeping in also was Yopaj with the boots of travel, and now Cuckoo. He's going to find a way out. He's got a TP. He's been scanned up.
Dire's
Looking through the
top
trees,
tower
he does
is
manage
under
to get away
attack.
from Yopaj.
Radiant's
Like he
middle
should be
tower
okay
is
here.
under
Not
attack.
wanting to TP out just yet, but it doesn't seem like Boom are fishing for it.
I actually didn't even think about that. In Yopaj's travels, he can just be onto the treants from nature, so they never have to worry about playing near a wave. When they make their smoke plays, it can be like, yeah, we can just find someone with the natures at the sprout.
Radiant
and
structures
then
are fortified.
Yopaj will always be there, or they could set up on a side lane in the
Who are we going to kill today?
threat. You know, it's a threat you have to think about if you want.
An army in the weeds.
Which is T1 going for like the wrong target, or do you think they shouldn't have been making that move to begin with?
I think there was, they both had the same idea, which was pretty funny actually. Watching Boom like swing top to try and make a play, and then T1 swing bot to try and make a play was good. It just, I don't think you can be going on a Wraith King. It takes too long for them on T1 to kill him, because they have very little burst damage. Boom have all this magic nuke, Snapfire. Mars does a hefty amount himself. They don't have the same thing on T1. They have a very good stun
Radiant's
setup
top
that takes a
tower
few
is
seconds to
under
set up,
attack.
and in that whole time you're doing that, someone's already TPing. You don't have nukes. Much harder for them to kill someone. Get out. So I think you need to be killing anyone else but Wraith.
And that's he didn't even end up using his reincarnation cooldown, so not the outcome they were perhaps hoping for, but
Radiant's
T1
bottom
keeping this
tower
game
is
at
under
least
attack.
somewhat even in terms of overall farm. They're behind perhaps where it counts, which is the Terrorblade against Wraith King. Terrorblade, speaking of which, has been caught by a glimpse. And go back into the range of the spear to go. As long as Satchel and Yokai just there with the DP in. Cuckoo could be next. He's being hit by the Mormon's kisses. Full retreat. This Brown's going to lock him in place as
under
well.
attack.
One more kiss is not going to clip him. The spear is just out of range. Cuckoo glimpse back though. That's going to surely be the death of him. He's got no blink dagger, no mobility, and boom. Finding kills
Dyer's
wherever they go.
courier has been killed.
I thought you were just saying that as like a sound, like, and boom!
Radiant's
yeah.
bottom tower is under
Boom
attack.
goes the diamond.
Oh. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Nice fight. I mean, they're just so good. They're just moving everywhere and applying so much pressure. I think it's hard for T1. I really think Yokai just is so good at showing the strength of Snapfire as a core. Going everywhere, you know. I'm like saying, oh yeah, I'm sure he
is
tells
under
his
attack.
farm is a travel. Nah, he goes bot, gets a kill, TP's top, gets a kill. Like, he just... I mean, he just keeps owning, and this is gonna be up again in 30 seconds, and that's another fight that they can take. I don't think T1 have been properly enabling Carl's game right now. I don't think I felt the impact of Carl's puck yet.
One of the heroes we also maybe haven't felt the impact of as a core is Cuckoo's Legion. You know, still trying to farm up a blade mail, then a blink later on. Where do you see this Legion fitting in going forward? Does he need to be joining these smoke ganks, or is it just he needs to farm up his items?
I think this is the issue that I see in their draft with the lack of burst damage, right? Is that who is killing the heroes? Snapfire is 1,700 health. That's a very hard jewel. Wraith King, like we talked about, with armor, like this hero's not dying.
Regen rune that's being baited here. Rotating in his Zephyr on the Mirana, gets a nice double stars on the finish off again once more. But Yokai's going to get himself back to safety with the blink out. They have caught up FBZ now with the kisses raining in. It could be bad for T1 as Cuckoo charges forward with the blade mail. Doesn't get the jewel off. Nice grab from Tims. Fails out funny there, but Boom have already lost 2, and they do want to re-engage and fight here with Jackie breaking having the blink dagger. They think about going forward. Cuckoo, no jewel to play around with just yet, but they may kill off Jackie once. That's the reincarnation. Will they look for another play on him? It doesn't seem like T1 have any interest. They've already got the 2 kills and made a nice work of team fight here in the mid lane.
Got the cheekiest little on a support as he died. You know, when you're just like, yeah, I can't duel a core. I'm just gonna settle for the support on 1 health.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We're playing for the late game. I need to get whatever dual damage I can.
Yeah.
That was nice though from T1.
For sure, yeah, actually. I think the puck having Witch played now is... My game is
Radiant's
bugging
bottom
out, the
tower
camera
is
just
under
swings,
attack.
like going upwards.
Radiant
Stop
are
that camera.
scanning.
Alright.
Radiant's
I
bottom
can see on the
tower is
minimap where your
falling.
camera is, and I just see it like flying all over the place. I'm like, what are you doing, cheapo?
I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, okay. So they're getting more sources of damage coming out now. Witchblade puck, Blade Mail,
Radiant's
Legion
middle
Command. I think if she
tower
went
is under
blink, then they
attack.
really struggle, but the Blade Mail actually is nice. The Shadow Demon as well. Like, when you're able to get more points up in this
Dyer's top
that
tower
turn
is under
load
attack.
off, it just like a big chunk of health to like start a fight on it, and that should help them be able to recover duel.
Where teams go for now. Looks like, you know, a bit of
Dire
momentary farm,
are
maybe getting some of
scanning.
these tier 2 neutral items, but T1, they're looking for their next kills, their next plays. They're smoked up around this mid lane. They saw FBZ there earlier. They may catch Tims as well. Whitemon gets vision from above, planting a nice observer wood on the hill, but looks like T1 want to overcommit underneath this tower. Now Boom not set up to defend this with 5 heroes, but they
Dyer's
could very
bottom
quickly
tower
TP
is
in.
under attack.
It's a nice play by T1.
Radiant structures
They get the blink in on the FBZ sees Mars. He goes
tower
down.
is under attack.
Carl even committing the Dream Call. They just want to make sure they get this T1 tower with the Metamorphosis being committed and Gabby having a BKB on his TP. They should be able to get it. And the nice draw on the backline. Cuckoo has found one more. Another winner for him.
Tower is under attack.
Glimpse back could perhaps punish him, but the disruption
Radiant's
save from
middle
Whitemont
tower
is there,
has
and
fallen.
Gabby now ready to help him out as they go looking for more with Carl's puck on the front lines, but they haven't got the control without the Dream Coil, so it does look like T1 will settle for 2 kills on a T1 tower. Very nice finds for them.
I respecting this. It's I'm not sure if they're just not set up properly, but like it's kind of horrible when like if puck coils someone, they do just die because there isn't really any save. I think the most save that they have is the scariest static storm to kind of like disrupt the spell usage, like break up the combo. But it seems a little hard to play into that, I suppose. So yeah, really nice picking up SPG there at the start of the fight.
Dire structures are fortified.
Well,
Mars is a huge part of control. When he dies, they can keep going.
the response from Boom though is to
Dire's middle
immediately go
tower
push the
has
enemy
fallen.
T1 mid tower, knowing that, you know, much like themselves, they don't see T1 set up to defend this. There's no Metamorphosis, there's no Dream Coil, so both teams end up trading T1 mid towers, and that does put a bit of pressure on T1, I feel like, because Roshan is something that, you know, at some point Boom could theoretically go for. This Desolator, I believe, coming out on Wraith King. The damage is definitely there, and that's something T1 are always going to have to at least keep tabs on and be nearby to contest.
My gratitude.
Gabby's getting really scary now. Chugging along towards a Scotty, and he has a BKB. I don't think he should die. In a fight, swinging back to the idea of burst damage, Boom would have to get a really nice spear up on him to start the fight, and he would have to not have a Shadow Demon around to protect him. I feel like most fights he will be getting his BKB. I don't know how they're killing through that.
Smoked up. They thought about Roshan, but Mirana shot an arrow in there, saw nothing coming, and said it's Boom smoking towards the mid lane, but Jackie unable to connect with the initiation there, gets slowed down by the reflection, so he's going to be a little bit careful. As far as these carries going, mentioned, yeah, Gabby's getting scary. Jackie himself, both these carries kind of neck and neck. How do you feel like these two carries match up, and how does this game look as we head towards the late game?
I mean, I think TV is very good against Wraith King, and
What
that's
is
a
this
detonation
nature
buff.
you silence?
And it's so scary when you have not only Shadow Demon, but also Legion Commander behind you. Gabby is getting fused, and how are you gonna kill him when he can just be purged like, of all stuns? Like, he's guaranteed to live as long as his teammates are set up properly behind him. And I don't know if they can kill him.
Shard, yeah, Legion Shard just about 1,000 gold away, so that's gonna be problematic with saves from Legion and Shadow Demon. How do you? I mean, I guess what's the plan for Boom then? You don't, if you can't rely on killing the TB, is it, do you go for other targets? Like how do they approach the fight and have things go their way?
Definitely think the best fights come when they play the backline. Backline is basically the name of T1, right? Keep Shadow Demon and LC in position, protect Gabby, fight around Gabby. Gabby's like a magnet for T1. He is their big win condition. Stick around him in a fight. Let him just kill everyone. I mean, he'll do his job. He'll push the towers to kill heroes. Boom, if they can somehow get enough vision of these Force and LC, like, then that's how their fight be like. Wraith King. I think if Wraith King is able to jump on top of Shadow Demon, he should die in the space of a stun. This dude is packing damage. He's got his armor, he's got his Desolator, going for a BKB, so he can't be controlled up. He should be able to just cleave Whitemon in half if he can see him. And then if you get a good arena down onto LC, then yeah, okay, maybe Gabby is going to be able to like use his meta and start hitting. But I think if LC and Shadow Demon are dead, this fight becomes a lot harder, and then it becomes a game of fighting on Boom.
Here we go, both teams smoked up, and it's going to be the Puck who gets instantly blink stunned and speared. That's a dead Puck. He couldn't get the face shift off in time, and now the Hippos come raining down on the Cuckoo. 2 dead on the T1 side, right out of the pause. Boom, they strike fast, they strike hard, but they will lose the disruptor in the process as Gabby's Terrorblade on the front line still has a BKB to play around. Maybe looking to fight with this, but Metamorphosis was coming. He's being rooted up now. Has to BKB just to stop himself getting stunned up. And Jackie, he's got no reincarnation. He's in trouble. The TP's on top of him with a reflector quickly down to the low ground, but he's hard committed. Gabby needs to find the Sunder target. He's not careful. He could be in some trouble here, but it's like he's going to just get himself out of there. Whitemon charging and getting low as Gabby goes charging forward, gets the Sunder off to start things off on a Tim's, and the right click with the Metamorph follows it up to get the kill. Yopash could be next to be so careful. He met the illusion room, but still gets clipped by the arrow. Oh, Zephyr was there waiting for him and nailed him with that arrow. The sniper in the jungle, and it's T1 who come out on top.
That's not good. Jackie jumped in there, but that was very, very brave. They even were playing on vision. It was their ward that was on the cliff, and that's probably what empowered him to feel confident to jump back in. But yeah, no, you get ulted up by Shadow Demon. You can't move. It's so hard. They tried to cook him down to the low ground, but it's what the ancestors able to close enough to go down.
Take another look at the fight here with the replay. I mean, it starts so well when you kill off 2 cores instantly like that, but that really just goes to show how damn strong this Terrorblade is when you can win a fight 3 versus 5. Like, sure, a lot of those spells are on cooldown, but TB just did it all on his own with a little bit of help from like a couple of stuns here and there.
And I think like getting the pick off on Puck there was nice in the way that I think T1's LC and Shadow Demon are in position, right? They're just playing towards Gabby, which means that, you know, maybe Carl's Puck is a little bit more vulnerable. So they were able to burst him and before anyone could connect. Whoa. Gets away. So close.
Close, yep. Had the reflection illusion chasing him, but luckily got the blink off first. Definitely, I think T1 on some level just, you know, they're hoping Kara can like fast fingers react on the phase shift there. It's very hard to do so when Wraith King has vision of you and jumps in melee rate with the stun, but see both these teams now posture around this Roshan. Do you think, does either team have an edge when it comes to Roshan, or does it just come to, you know, finding a pick off or winning a fight first before they can go into Roshan?
I don't think I can see either team going in and doing it. There's always such a big threat because obviously Boom have been a static storm. Have like coil. It's not the best because he doesn't have an Ags yet. So if they do have BKBs, it's kind of okay with it. They don't yet. They're actually smoking up when Wraith King doesn't have his BKB. A little scary.
They're wasting time. They want to fight now. Legion Commander, though, just finished off his Ag shard, so there's that extra layer of save to play around. Lincoln from the Mars, he didn't connect with the spear on anyone, though, so at this point, Boom kind of revealed that position. The arrow, I think it landed. It hit Jackboy, so he's a bit of trouble, but does have the double lives to play around. We'll get back to a little bit of safety here as the arena just being used as a deter any further chase here, but they've coiled up too, which means a dead skim, and they take down the first life of the Wraith King as well. The arrow finds him on the respawn, so Jackie is done for with the Cuckoo, with the dual snipe as well, just to make sure he gets some bonus damage along the way. Disruption's there to find Yopash as well, and there's no TP out for him, so T1 have just found all the kills they need to set themselves up for a free road.
That is what you sound like.
God! That doesn't backfire with the arrow on the Wraith King. It smoked up. He didn't see it. I don't know. He got hit and then phasing arrow again onto the reincarnation. Like, Wraith King set up the arrow against himself.
Definitely one of the maybe downsides of the hero time. Yeah, we're maybe just seeing that they've got this Mars disruptor, but their team fight's still feeling a little bit lackluster in terms of what Nature's Prophets bringing to the table, for example, and they get jumped like that, things just go so bad for them.
I'm very scared at this point. I think Gabby is definitely reaching territories.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Can't be
attack.
dealt with anymore.
Radiant structures are
26
fortified.
minutes, Yopash hasn't finished the charge yet. That's gonna be a big
Radiant's top tower
strength for
is
them
under
when they
attack.
do get it, but Wraith King is really struggling.
Radiant's top tower is falling.
I think that smoke may have been a mistake not finishing first. I don't know how much it changes. Obviously he got hit by arrow without realizing it at the start of the fight, and that's kind of like a life down already. And I'm not sure how second life, other than helping him get out alive. I don't think he could have fought with it. So I guess their initiation was a little bit botched. What can you do? Like, I think he just reset and try and kite, not kite, but like avoid fighting while they have this Aegis. Just cut lane, cutting top. Sorry, Tim's just pushing. Well, they're just gonna have to try and pressure them out the best they can.
Definitely a big part of it does just seem like the matchup issue where they picked this Race King into TP, partly because there maybe just weren't any great carry options left, but that's all it is. Down bottom, Carl actually gets summed up. The Static Storm falls and he's gonna go down here. Got a bit greedy going for the kill on Tim's. Cuckoo is coming in with the Moonlight Shadow and he's looking for Tim's here. They find him in just a second. Cuckoo has the jewel and he's gonna go for it. Bring down the Nature's Prophet, but White one once more. Ooh. Almost had the disruption, ends up accidentally disrupting himself there, but he was so close to catching Jackie.
You're pretty happy with that as they have Aegis, but you're still managing to get a kill onto their mid hero. Like that's pretty nice play. It's the kind of thing you're like hoping for. And then as soon as they get it right, they get out with everyone else that they can. They're already back to like the top of FBZ. This is definitely the right way to deal with. See how they deal with
is under attack.
Aegis expiring. I'm not sure if they're strong enough as a team to say like, okay, we're gonna smoke up as the Aegis expires and take that fight. I don't know if they're in that kind of position. It's probably still back to before the Aegis where it was, yeah, we want to take fights on our wards and kind of just get the best jump we can.
The T1, they want to fight while they've got this Aegis. The Puck may be dead, but has boots of travel, so can rejoin the team pretty quickly here if need be. They do have to address this top lane that's constantly being pushed in by Nature's Prophet Treants and the Mars as well, clearing out waves. So they'll get the bottom tier 2 tower, but looks like they're going to be forced to come top to defend. But they want kills up here as well. Carl shows himself on the wave, but Cuckoo is in the trees. Trying to kill here. Puck goes in forward, gets caught in the Static Storm, but the spear pushes him out. Oh, he also gets taken out by the Knight Crazy attack, giving him that temporarily magic immunity. Gets rooted by the Nature's Prophet. Aghanim Scepter causing some, issues chasing, but it's not really offering any kill threat as T1 do a great job baiting Carl and bailing him out, knowing that the Legion Commander was going to be able to save him with the shard.
Awesome bait. They really just committed full on to that play. They TP'd so many heroes. Boomer playing and sneakily along these side lanes. It's not a matter for Boomer of like, oh, top show, we have to like back off from the top. They don't have that space on the map. They don't see enough heroes to know what's going on. They want to keep playing top, so they try and make that play on plus into the below, but no, T1 is totally outside.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
After that, they poking at the doors of Boom, coming to the tier 3 towers up top. They've taken all outer towers now, so next objective is going to be the high ground.
Radiant structures
We'll
are
see if
fortified.
Boom have the tools to defend this one. They haven't got much left on the Aegis, just the 50 seconds though, so if they can delay this just enough, they may be able to find an opening to jump in and go on Gabby. Nice man to the dodge is done here, but he's not done. He's done. He's just going to keep on pushing, keep on chipping at this tier 3 tower. Well, Nature's Prophet does a little bit of work cutting some waves. They've got a lot on Jackie here, but
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Look behind. Boom. They're making a move. They want the back line. Cuckoo scouts it out of the Legion Commander, and now instead it's going to be FBZ catching out the Mirana. There will be a dead Zephyr here, but he pops the pipe and surviving a bit longer. Almost gets another leap out of there. Will end up going down, but the TB just took melee racks. Nothing defending top, and boom. They may have killed the Mirana, but they lost Scam in the process, and also did not defend their top lane.
Yeah, it's definitely it seems really hard for them to take fights on like up front like that when they kind of push into the game. I mean, you kind of have
to. Hold that top bottom lane. Carl, we've seen this one before. It's the Puck. Carl getting a little bit too over-eager with some of his aggressive farming and getting punished for it. So Boom doing a good job hunting down Carl several times here, but it feels like T1 on the front foot with this TB feeling a little bit unstoppable. Is there a point or an item that Boom can deal with this TB, or is it just like, let's kill everyone else and just hope we can maybe deal with TB last or something?
Mark has so many
He is very, very dead. Mortem is just not going to crack it here in terms of damage output. Jackie just losing the battle against his Terrorblade There's no metamorphosis, but Gabby doesn't seem to have a problem with that because he's just going to BTP out. Good job taking the Wraith King's first life and getting out
Dire's
safely.
bottom tower
Gabby is
under attack.
fitting in perfectly into this T1 roster, it feels like.
There's no meta though, so you're not too worried to blow on Boom. They're just gonna spread out and keep trying to pressure the map. I feel like
Dire's bottom
Boz,
tower
if he
is
can
under
get
attack.
BKB and a refresher. This is very
Dire's
late. I'm
bottom
talking
tower
very
has
late
fallen.
game here. That might be a way to give yourself a good way to fight, because I don't want the arena for the sake of trying to kill heroes, but if they can use like 2 arenas to kind of wall out Gabby when he's meta, because obviously he can't attack through the walls. Even if he's BKB'd, his attacks will get caught on the wall. BKB only allows him to
Only
walk
the wary.
through the arena. Right, so if they're able to kind of go on the rest of his team and use arenas to sort of separate him from the fight, I feel like that could be really
Radiant
Kind of-
are scanning.
kind of really hard to do though, so that's how it's kind of like an ideal
Yeah.
situation type thing.
Farming up any kind of refresher is going to take quite some time here. Especially with Tim's as farmed as he is, and you know, it's kind of become his job to keep these lanes pushed out. It does feel like they can get like well and truly into late game Dota because of all the split push coming from Tim's. He's got the Aghanim Scepter and the Shard for those greater treants, but as a result, some of his teammates are a little bit underfarmed.
Sure, it's kind of like I see ways of them to take fights, but it requires things like a disruptor axe, which this man, I don't know if he will ever get. It's skim 5. You can't touch a single creep in this game. They even have a
Dire's
Philosopher's
top
Stone.
tower is
His
under
teammate
attack.
does. Tim's does. Like, he's already got Axe Refresher. Like, what more do you need?
He'll give it over eventually when he's
Yeah,
6
eventually.
light.
The funniest thing was when they found it, the Mars actually kept it for like the first 5 minutes. I was like, what's Mars doing with the Philosopher's Stone? These greedy core players.
I do respect FPD going Yule's this game. I think it's helpful.
And that topic. They found Skem, and Skem knows it. He was just throwing his life at D-Ward, but not done. They've also caught everything here without a BKB. Another dual kill going the way of T1. Cuckoo up to plus 140 now. Oh boy.
Yeah, yep. It's hard. It's really, really hard. Yeah, I mean, you can't have the full... Because obviously what they want to do is they want to keep running out onto the map, and you don't want to be stuck in your bases like here. That's horrible. It leads to extreme net worth deficits. You have to try and make the plays, but when Gabby's running around with the silver edge and able to find like FPZ there, it's so hard to play. So you can't, have sentries all over the map.
Radiant
And
structures
go out
are
and quit.
fortified.
Kind of like desperation plays that Boom keeps. Which is not the situation you really want to find yourself in, but at least they're trying to do something.
T1 poke at the high ground, then back off. They've got Roshan waiting for them if they want to go for it, so Aegis and Aghanim Shard. Probably uncontested. It just feels like Boom is so much on the back foot. And I gotta ask you, but one of the, the player hero combos, the Yopaj Sapphire that we were so excited to see, it's felt a bit quiet since we've left the laning space. Is it just the nature of the hero, or is it just why are we not feeling the same impact as we did yesterday when he was getting 30 kills?
I'll endure what
Might just be the
shadows
fact that
take us.
I mean, like they picked it seeing the mid matchup, right? I mean, the fight's about to break down. I'm kind of.
Don't worry, you got some time. You got some time.
I'm scared.
They want to contest this Roshan. Puck finds the backline support, so gets the Drone Coil out onto one. He hit the Disruptor and the Yule Scepter, and he's going to be in the Static Storm himself. Gets bursted down on the Shadow Demon. They've killed up the support. Good sides. Trying to see what they can find here. The Wraith King lost his first life, and that TB just eats him alive with the dual kill as well. Going Cuckoo's way, plus 170 now. Looks like T1 aren't done. They're still hunting, looking for more. They committed the Metamorph, so they want to fight right now. They still have a little window where they can fight with that one.
Is under
It
attack.
doesn't look like they're going to find anything else, so maybe they just go for the Roshan here. All right, I think you've got a moment now. Yopaj Sapphire. Why is this not Yopaj Sapphire yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely looking to go that direction at the beginning of the game. Around the map were really. getting kills and making it back. I'm not exactly sure the moment that it fell off so
Dire's
hard,
structures are
but
fortified.
I think they took a couple of pretty poor fights where they did reach timings on T1. They had Witchblade on
Radiant's
top.
middle
They
tower
had,
is under attack.
their supports were getting levels. They had All and Shadow Demon, and they were able to just kind of get these pick-offs and start
Radiant's
taking good
middle
fights.
tower has fallen.
And when those started happening, it kind of slowed down Boom's momentum. And this whole time, Gabby was a power bomb.
Gabby has become the big late game problem here. Satchel comes out. Links his way out of that one from the phase shift, so
Radiant's middle
looks like T1 with the
has
Dead
fallen.
Wraith King are going to get themselves a second lane of racks without
Radiant's
much
middle
of a
barracks
fight.
are under attack.
See if there's a response
Radiant's middle
from Boom
barracks has
to
fallen.
defend this bottom lane or not, because I don't think T1 are done. They've still got this Aegis in hand on Gabby.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Felt like when TB got his KB, that part no longer really countless damage onto him. The amount of save they have, it felt like they had no way to deal with it.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Gabby just sitting on the high ground. Meanwhile, Yopa, yeah, he's well, caught in the back line. Completely in no man's land, getting tipped up here as Carl tries to finish off the Wraith King on his first life. Unsuccessful, but what really matters perhaps is the base going down. Mega Creep's about to be picked
Radiant's
up
bottom
as
barracks.
zones them away, keeps them in the fountain, keeps them away from Gabby, who is having a flawless game on this Terrorblade, it feels like.
That was most well.
Mega Creeps are picked up, and it just doesn't feel like there's much Boom can do anymore.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah,
under
he's so
attack.
strong.
There are any doubts about the T1 pickup bringing Gabby into the team. I think he's answered a few of them today with his... He's juking it out here in the mid lane, and Boom Esports will be bested in game number 1. They GG out there, as Team 1, they strike first, Chico. This was pretty convincing in the end in some ways. Like, the early game was looking good for Boom with some of their early aggression, particularly around the early game power of the Sapphire. But once T1 BKB timing of TB, it felt like they didn't have a good answer for BKBs.